Hey, we're going to take a look at this story on the news. Comes from a Channel 4 news somewhere in New York. And the individual on the screen, her name is Dr. Evelina Graver. Now what we're going to do, we're going to just take a look at the etymology, meaning the meaning of the name of Evelina. So we'll jump to that. Okay, now, according to this, you can see that it comes from an old French word. And looking at the bottom sentence there in the opening paragraph, what does it mean? It means hazelnut. Okay, there's the meaning of her name, hazelnut. So they're telling you she's a nut. She's not a doctor. She's a nut. Okay, let's go back to the original storyline here. Okay, Dr. Evelina Graver. Now, do I have to even talk about the last name? Graver, Gravier, Grave. She's a hazelnut grave. Okay? They're actors.
At work?
Dr. Evelina Graver documented parts of her day for us. She calls these days heart-wrenching. 12 to 16 hours inside a COVID-19 unit at North Shore University Hospital. Every one of her patients seriously ill and on a ventilator.
You walk in, and it's hard for me to say, but you can actually smell fear. You smell death.
Let's hear that again.
But you can actually smell fear. You smell death. Walking into the hospital.
What did she say?
It's hard for me to say, but you can actually smell fear. You smell death. Walking in.
Okay, when was the last time you smelled fear? Did you know that fear has a smell to it? And did you know that death has a smell to it? Well, you don't really smell death. You might smell a decomposing body after a person dies, and a certain number of hours have been passed and the body begins to decompose. There is no such thing as smelling fear. There is no such thing as smelling death. Now you may smell some of the medicines that are used in the room. You may smell some of the discharges of the body. You may smell some of the cleaning fluids in a hospital room, but you do not smell death. There is no such thing as smelling fear and smelling death. So do you believe that the one that you're watching right now is truly a medical doctor? Do you really believe that?
To the hospital, very different feel at this period of time.
That different feeling, she says, is one of helplessness. There's little she and her colleagues could do for the patients on their unit. Half are well below the age of 60. People who just days ago had no health issues.
The real picture is that the disease is way more severe than anybody could actually imagine. I cry.
Okay, anybody could actually imagine did you hear what was said, than anybody could actually imagine. They are digging into that part of your mind called imagination. Now let it go crazy, let it go wild, let it panic. That's what they want you to do. Remember, this doctor smells fear.
I think that's okay to actually say the fact that I do allow myself to, at a certain point, feel what this actually means.
Thinking of her 12-year-old daughter helps her get through the day.
Take a look at them. It's just the same. It's just the same. It's the same individual on the right and on the left.
She says, but it also weighs heavily on her mind.
But there's a fine line where you want to be able to put your life on the line and protect, but at the same time knowing that what you could be doing inside, you're bringing home with you and can infect your loved ones. I have my headgear on, I have my goggles.
Wow. Now we're getting a real medical education here. I hope you all are watching this, because you're going to get a real medical education on this little scenario. She has her head gear on. Oh, wow.
I have the mask.
Like many on the front lines, Dr. Graver says PPE is running short. She rewears masks and goggles that normally would be thrown away.
Okay. Now I want to tell you something personally. I've been in and out of hospitals for 39 years. And any time I have gone into a room where there's an individual who is in an isolation type room, and I had to put on a mask or put on a suit of some sort, a drapery, like a bathrobe sort of thing, kind of like what they're wearing there now, and gloves, I am instructed to take off the gloves, take off the suit, and take off the mask. Throw the gloves away, throw the mask away, throw the suit away. Or not, you don't throw the suit away, you put it to be relaundried, okay? So the proper instruction in a hospital is, after you have visited a patient, you throw away the gloves and the mask, okay? Now that's proper sanitation. So all this BS, I rewear the gloves and I rewear the mask, well, it's all craziness, because they're going against everything that they've taught you about germs and bacteria. Now remember, if you've watched some of my other videos, all viruses are nonsense. All. Virology was started as a reaction against this true scientific methodology of germ theory, germs and bacteria. Hence they invented viruses, so they could do whatever they want with them. And right now they're doing whatever they want with them, right in your face. You're just seeing a bunch of people acting. There's nothing going on. Nothing.
There's no other choice. Earlier this week, Dr. Graver heard neighbors clapping at 7 o'clock, not realizing until her daughter explained that the...
Did that look like neighbors to you? Or did it look like a setup? And does it really look like it's 7 o'clock? The 7 is the mind weapon, the Zion, to get it into your head.
Cheers were for medical staff like her.
I stopped in my tracks and I started to cry. I think all of that emotion that pent up within the last 10 days that I've been in this hospital, I released right there. Now I'm about to walk into the unit. Be safe, everyone.
Now, Dr. Graver, wasn't it?
Okay, that stupid little saying, be safe, everyone. Well, I'll tell you what, I was mighty safe before all these jokesters got on there and hoaxsters. Now he's going to tell us that Dr. Graver can't let us film in the hospital. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because there's nothing out of the ordinary happening. There's just the usual patients in a hospital. And that's why there's no filming, and that's why you're greeted with a man with an armed pistol by his side and a taser when you would try to visit in the hospital. That's why you're not going to be allowed in, even if your loved one is in there, because there's nothing going on except what hospitals usually do.
Will take video on her unit, but she tells me if we could see what she's been seeing every day, no one would ever leave their home. We're live in Manhasset. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
Okay, no one's going to leave their home. Isn't that the idea of it? No.
Oh my gosh!
No one leaves their home? Isn't that what they want? Stay at home. Don't talk to people. You might really realize that you've been hoodwinked. You've been deceived. You've been lied to. Go to the one who never lies. He's incapable of lying. He's the God of all truth. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Thank you for watching.